Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to DCS. Today, as you might have guessed, we are going to be taking a look at the Afghanistan map in all 2 frames per second that I'm currently getting. As usual, this is going to be a fully unbiased review. I didn't receive this product for free. I spent my own real-world money on it, which means I get to be as honest about the product as possible. Things I like, things I don't like. Starting here in a more urban center. And we're just gonna, I guess we'll just jump right into it. We'll zoom around the map here, see what we can see what's interesting. First thing that catches my eye is this blown up. I didn't even know what that is. Is that like a hug? Like from, whatever. Blown up stuff. Rubble everywhere. Not a whole lot for urban centers, so we'll spend a little bit of extra time. That is just a destroyed aircraft tug texture. I think it's the same thing. But not a lot for urban development in this map. So we'll spend a little bit extra time around here. It looks like we've got a little tuk-tuk there. You can see this is, I believe this is the largest built city here. Lots of detail, not a lot of frames, but you can see the extent of the city. We'll zoom out and roll back in here. Another location. I believe these are unique buildings to the Afghanistan map, but just as we saw with oh, my track IR is unplugged. How unfortunate. Just as we saw with, keep wanting to call it Egypt, the Sinai map, they are somewhat repeated. A lot of you guys made the point of, yeah, they do that to keep page loading and such and RAM usage down, which is a valid thought. Still would like to see a little bit more on the procedurally generated side of things, though. I mean, short of doing a Microsoft Flight Simulator style where you're downloading real-world buildings and that, this was done a lot better, in my opinion. I mean, I think it also helps that, in general, the region, a lot of buildings do tend to look similar. So I'm a little bit more forgiving of that repeated texture stuff. Yeah, this is going to be the video. We're just going to keep popping around, finding stuff, some destroyed buildings. Should point out this is a blank, clean slate map. There are no assets placed on this map, so everything you see will be in the map as it comes. In fact, let's go a step further and turn off my reshade so you can really see what this map's going to look like should you buy it. And we'll get into if I think this map is worth the $55 US that it costs. For the full version, there's currently, I think there's 2, maybe 3 different versions. One of them is the full version, the one that I have here, which includes detailed areas of the Southwest, which is where we're at now, with included free further expansion later. And then there is I think there's a southern and a western Afghanistan where you get detail in the south and the west, and the rest is not detailed, and you'll have to purchase a update later on. I think those are like $30-ish, something like that. Anyway, you get the idea. Urban center, for the most part, explored. See a body of water I want to look at. Just kidding, it's a track. So this brings me to the terrain mapping. And I know I'm zooming around the map in real time, you know, not cruising around in like a helicopter or a fighter jet or something. But a lot of the criticisms I've seen is when you step outside of urban zones, which we'll do, and you get towards the ground, a lot of the textures aren't the best. And we'll give them a second to load in here. But you see how you can see the little boulders and grass clutter and all that. That tells me that the scenery is, for the most part, as loaded in as it's realistically going to get. And it doesn't look fantastic from lower altitudes. I've seen people say altitudes as ridiculous as 30,000 feet. I don't think that's true. So if we go up to, so there's like 30,000 feet. And yes, this looks great, but I would argue you can come down to like 15. Okay, maybe not. There's 15,000 feet. And I'd say this is adequate. But you come down to like 10, and the textures start to fall apart. And if you're doing helo ops, which I think this map would be great for, or God forbid, combined arms, the textures just they don't quite they're not quite up to scratch. So, and it's interesting. So you have certain textures, like if you look at this farm here in the center, maybe this is a separate texture from the map textures, but if you go from what's in the center of our screen now over to what's in the center of the screen now, it's a pretty significant difference. So anyways, let's hop to, I guess we'll look at these mountain ranges over here. So waterway, it is a waterway. Water in DCS, as always, looking great. Over to the mountain ranges. A lot of mountainous terrain in Afghanistan. So it'll give you a lot of good cover if you're fighting against a surface-to-air missile or something similar. Not so great, obviously, if you're fighting a contact from the top down. Let's go to the F10 map. And we'll go into the satellite view and give you just kind of an idea of the scale of this map. So you can see in the left-hand side here is the border with Iran. You can see Pakistan here, all the way up to Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and over here is just a little bit of China. So quite a bit of map to discover. So we were down over here by Kandahar. We'll go look at Camp Bastion really quick, and then I want to go over to the undeveloped areas to see or show you guys what that's going to look like. And it'll be actually a first time over there for me as well. Where are you, Camp Bastion? Maybe I zoomed in too far. But nonetheless, a different section of the map to explore. Look at that. Is that... Someone tell me what flower that is. Is that a violet? I don't know. I'm botany. Not my strong suit. But you can definitely tell again, we're at 11,000 feet now. You can tell there's obviously a distinct difference between where we are now as far as the amount of greenery versus where we were before, even if you look out here. So I do like that. And funny enough, here at this altitude at 11,000 feet, all of these textures look great. If we come down to 5,000 feet, maybe it's just my mind playing games, or maybe these textures here are the same textures that I was focusing on before, but these look good at 5,000 feet. At least I'd say so. There you are, King Bastion. This is going to be one of the main OPSECs for Blue 4. If you're fighting as a NATO coalition, goodbye frame rate again. I have to say that's one of the overall criticisms I do have of one of two criticisms I have of the newer DCS maps is one, overall performance. Like I mentioned before, this is a completely bare bones naked map. There's nothing added to it. I literally just went into the mission editor, selected the map, and hit play. And my performance it's not great. I mean, you can see that frame rate drop as I tear back and forth across the screen. And I don't have a slouch of a computer. And now I don't have an absolute beast workhorse of a computer. I've got a 3070 Ti paired with a i9, I think 10900K. That's all running through 64 gigabytes of DDR4 memory. So it's not a, absolute shredder of a PC, but I would like to think that it should be able to better handle these maps, especially bare bones, and then when you start to add assets in, it only is going to get worse. And I say that based on the fact that this computer handles essentially every other title, every other game. I do a lot of other games not on the channel that are very graphically and memory intensive. And it handles those with no problem. So it leaves me to kind of believe that it is more of a ED situation with how it manages memory. And that's no secret. Anyone who's been around for a while knows that DCS as a whole has kind of struggled with performance. There was that big memory leak issue they had a while ago. Multi-threading only recently came out, I think only a few months ago at this point, but multi-threading is definitely an improvement, but I don't think we're quite where we need to be. And unfortunately for ED, I think it's going to be a full architecture rebuild, which would mean this DCS as we know it is going to go bye-bye. So, and I don't know how they would handle that as far as transferring over your game save files and that sort of stuff. So anyway, that's a quick whiz around some parts of Camp Bastion. Let's go and explore the unfinished northwestern region. Holy smokes, this is pretty expansive. Yeah, the textures fall apart here. Interesting. I feel like these should be longer. You see how the texturing makes them look like they should be longer? Maybe I'm losing it. Anyway, unfinished part of the map. Here we come. So let's go up towards, I want to go up towards that northwestern border with China. Right here. So now we've got some snow caps coming in through 50,000, 40,000, 30,000. So yeah, I think this is the area that a lot of folks were complaining about, because we're at, let's just round it out to a nice even 30,000 feet. Or close to it. Close enough. And even at 30,000 feet, obviously the mountains are going to be significantly higher than that, but you can see there's just a lot of terrain degradation. So this is the part of the map that is going to be further developed later. So a lot of this I'm willing to just kind of forgive and move on from. It's not polished, it's not great, it looks like doo-doo if I'm being honest, but this is the unpolished, or one of the many unpolished parts of the map. So I wouldn't expect it to look anything crazy. We'll increase our altitude to 45,000 feet. That looks okay. So, I mean, if you're doing, I don't know, like high altitude transiting. Whoa. What is that? Okay, so if you didn't see it, oh, there it is. So what's going on there? It's unfinished, so we'll let it go, but that's pretty neat. Huh? Could geography in real time. Well, we'll be all for that. More mountains popping in. That must just have to, that must be something to do with my LOD distance or something, but it is really funny to watch mountains shape shift and pop up in front of me as I approach. That's pretty sweet. So, I mean, we've got mountain peaks that are in excess of 24,000 feet, it looks like, especially that one over there is probably going to be way, way taller. Oh, not that much. It's actually 25,000 feet. Back to the F10. Let's go to the north. We'll head to the border with Tajikistan. Looks like it's going to be a little bit greener, or at least a little bit less snowy. Again, an unfinished portion of the map. At 12,000 feet, it looks like garbage. Increasing to 26, and it looks, well, that's fine. These look like they will be urban centers once they're put in place. So that's pretty neat. So you get the idea of, oh no, well, you guys can still see it, but I've clicked out of DCS. Let's go back to the developed areas. It's finished over here. Let's take a look. Not getting a frame drop, so I'm thinking no. Oh no, it is. There we go. So nothing overwhelmingly impressive to look at. There's the traffic sounds popping in. Nothing overwhelming to look at. Again, repeated textures, whatever. We're fine with it. Definitely tons and tons of potential for more large-scale warfare. I think with this and the Kola map, I think we have a good potential for more large-scale conflicts, which would be fun. I'd also be curious to see, I know I keep saying it and you guys keep shooting me down, but I'm not going to stop. If eventually we could see some of these maps strung together. So again, on the far western border, you have the border with Iran, and on the Sinai map, you have, I think, just the western border of Iraq. So I'd be curious to see, you know, what would it take to make a central Middle East map? Oh, hello. And then put those together, string those together to then work as a one huge Northern Africa, Northeastern Africa, Western Middle East map. Because, I mean, the file sizes on these maps are insane. I was parsing through my DCS and looking at some of the stuff I have installed. Did you realize the Kola map is 155 gigabytes? In fact, hold on. I'm going to Alt-Tab, so it might go wrong. Nope, you can still see. Hold on. Hold on. DLC. B. So there's, how am I going to do this? Asus monitor selected, and then show me my desktop. Hope I'm not doxing myself because I can't see my OBS. Hello? Okay, well, we'll go back to DCS for a second. Oh, it's because the source changed. Anyway, so this is my DCS, positors. Like the Kola map, I'm sorry, is 165.1 gigabytes. The South Atlantic is almost 100. The base map for Afghanistan is 75. So some of these, and I understand, obviously, you're talking about a physical map. You're not downloading any of this stuff in real time, but my DCS folder is over a terabyte big. And that's a lot. So anyway, granted, memory is getting cheaper day by day, but I don't really know what else to show you guys. This is the gist of the map. I know we've barely scratched the surface of it, but it is just a lot of this. Let's go look at this big body of water here. Ooh. There's a little shallow spot here. There is. That's pretty neat. I'm just working my few bits of creative energy I still have left. So you could have a situation where you're like defending this dam, and you could have like surface to air sites and have to have an F-16 fly Wild Weasel through these mountains or something, take out the SAM sites, and then, I don't know, have something else come in and blow up the things defending the dam. I don't know, but there's definitely potential with this map. A little bit of tree clippage, but whatever, we'll let it go. On a map of this scale, there's bound to be some hiccups. So that is the DCS map, or the DCS map. No shit, dude. This is the Afghanistan map for DCS World. Not really a day one review. It's been out for a few weeks now, but I'm just getting around to it. I wouldn't expect to see this map on the channel anytime super soon, unless I'm doing like a short section in the southwestern region of the map. But that will do it for this quick little overview. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been a little bit since I've uploaded, but it is what it is. Been out doing other stuff, enjoying life, and hopefully you are too, to an extent. But that'll be it for this video, you guys. I will catch you in the next one, and as always, look at that land transition. Is this real? Maybe this is where the development stops? Like Mars? Earth. Mars? Anyway, take it easy.